Hi everyone, it's Mike Bonn with the Cashflow Company. Today I want to talk to you about setting yourself up to win. One of the things that we see is there's change out there. The Fed is tightening everything and we're starting to see the squeeze happen, which typically means there's going to be more opportunities in our world, the investor world. There may be and probably will be more foreclosures, more properties available at discounts, and there's some options now coming forward, maybe not now, but maybe in 3 to 6 months, where we're going to see some really good deals for flips and even rentals. We want to make sure you're set up on the money side because it takes money in real estate to make money. We want to make sure it's faster, easier, and cheaper for you. And there's a few tricks, a few things that you need to do to set yourself up now to make sure you win when we see all these opportunities coming to the investors. Now, the beautiful thing about real estate investing, it doesn't matter if you came from the right family, right side of the tracks, if you have a college degree, any of those things. Anybody with the willingness to work and get educated can make really good money, become wealthy in real estate. It's one of the only things that's still out there that could get you from where you're at to wealth, to income, and the opportunities are right here. So as I mentioned, we're on the money side. There's typically two sides to real estate investing: finding good properties and financing. You need money to make the money. You need the leverage, the debt, the loans. So we want to make sure that you are attracted to lenders. Lenders want to lend you money. We want to make sure all types of money is flowing towards you, from bank loans to lenders to private money to hard money, whatever it is, because you never know what source you need. It doesn't matter how long you've been in real estate investing. Sometimes you need hard money, sometimes you need a bank, sometimes you need conventional, sometimes you just need gap funding. You need to make sure you're set up to win at this game, because in case you find something unique or you need to close fast or you need something long term, those are different lenders for each project. As I mentioned, there's two sources when you're going to look at any project. We call it money buckets. So there's a money bucket that comes from a lender, and there's also money that has to come from you. And it may be just down payment, it might be carry cost, it may be any of those things. So just so you understand, there's always two sides. There's a lender side and your side. One way or the other, both of these are going to come together and fill the bucket to help with that project. We just want to make sure when you're talking with and working with lenders, you're getting the fastest, easiest, cheapest money you can, and that more lenders are seeking you out, trying to find you, trying to give you money, which means it's going to come to you in those fashions, which means faster, easier, and cheaper. So the rules are simple, but as they always say, simple to do does not always mean you want to do it. Those that do will make this a lot more profitable, create wealth easier, and get on to other things in life. So number one, when you're working with lenders or in the lender field, be honest and get the things done that you say you're going to get done. If that's a flip, get it done on time. If it's a BRRRR. But even up front is just being honest with people. Don't try to hide that you've had a bankruptcy. Don't try to hide things that they're going to find out. Once they find out, it's just going to be harder for you to get a loan. Not only a loan, but options for loans. You want options to drive your costs down, which makes your income go up. It doesn't matter if it's a flip or a rental. Anytime you pay less for money, the more money that's going to be in your pocket. If it's in cash flow and rent, or if it's just from a flip, what you're going to make from it. Many times I just see people say they never had a bankruptcy or a judgment, or they've never defaulted on a loan. And then when people go and check, a lender goes and check, and they find out that those things did occur, the excuses really don't matter, because now lenders are going to start looking for what else is not there or telling the truth. The second part of that was getting the projects done on time without a bunch of excuses. If you want to make this easy, if you want to make it work, things happen every once in a while. That's just the way it is. Go out, get your projects, and when you're talking to lenders, maybe put in a little bit of cushion so when it does take a little bit longer, you have that built-in time to make sure they see it as done on time. Get in, get it done. Take this as a way to make money, which means you have to put some effort into it. Lenders want to see honest people who are doing their best, and then they'll support them with more money, more funding, more options. Number two, it is something that's a reality, especially in 2023. The better the credit, the more options. I know people don't like to hear that, but that's what it is. Here's an example. I just had a client reach out to me. They're buying a flip. It's a high leverage flip, so they needed another property for cross collateral. And I said, why don't you just go get a line of credit? It's free and clear. You could go to a bank. It's cheaper, easier, and then every time you have a project going forward, you could use that line of credit to either cover part or all the costs. But the big question, the big concern is credit. Even if you own that property free and clear and had a bad credit score or just a low credit score of like 640 and below, his options are limited. He may only have one or two, which is a hard money loan or a bridge loan, low loan to value. But what happens, he has a great credit score, so we put him with a bank to get a line of credit. Guess what? Banks loved him. They're doing the line of credit. He had multiple options for that. He could put a line of credit on there where he can use it on every project. He could have just did a cross lane for gap funding or anything else like that. He had 4 or 5 options. With a bad credit score, even with a property that's owned free and clear, the options are limited. What happens when you don't have those assets, when you don't have those things? In 2023, with things tightening, credit score matters. So those who actually make sure their credit scores are as high as they can will have more options, which means they'll make more money. Now, one of the things that we go over, and we're going to go over in the next section too, is how to make this a little bit easier in your credit score. The number one thing we see is people using personal credit cards, lines of credit on their business projects. Doesn't matter if it's a flip or if it's even a business. Using personal credit cards, lines of credit, whatever, is driving people's scores down as they do projects because they're buying items, they're financing stuff with that, or even using business credit cards for earnest money or down payments, which you can do with some of these business cards. So what we're talking about when you want to get your credit score high, make sure you set your business up correctly too, which means making sure you don't use personal credit cards. Move them over to business credit cards as long as you're making payments, paying everything on time, and you have a business credit card in your name, that credit's not going to be reported on your credit report. Once again, if you're making payments on time and you get the proper business credit card, every charge that you put on there is not affecting your personal credit score, which means when you go and get loans, it's easier because your credit score is higher. So don't artificially deflate your credit score just because you're using personal credit and personal credit cards to do these flips and these BRRRRs and everything else. Make sure you set this up correctly. These lenders want to make sure you have money. Remember when we started this, we talked about the lender's portion or lender's bucket and the amount of money you have to bring in, even if it's not down payment, but it's carry cost, if it's overruns, any of that stuff. You need a money bucket. Lenders have part of this project in their bucket and put together, it's the bucket that funds the whole transaction. If it's a flip, rental, or whatever. So you need to increase your money bucket. Part of increasing that is getting the lenders to give you more if you want more. Once again, that goes back to number 2, raising that credit score, and what we talked about, making sure you have business credit cards that you are using. Treat this like a business. Set up lines of credit, business credit cards. All of these can be used for down payments, for earnest, for other things, including repairs that you have to pay people out. There's services that take the money off your credit card and pay people. All of those things make this easier. But the biggest thing it does is it opens up other options. Better credit score, more money in your account, because you could get unsecured lines. You could get HELOCs for your house. All those things with a better credit score fill your bucket and your options up. So we talked about business credit scores, but I think everyone who is serious about this, who wants to build it, especially those who are in the 40 plus and they want to get 10 homes in the next 10 years or get flips to create that retirement, you need to use all your assets, which is, lines of credit on your house, HELOCs, lines of credit on the properties that you own, if it's a HELOC or just a business line of credit on other properties you own. You need to open up all of these doors, because the more money that you could just go write a check for or go use to buy something, the more options you have. What if a deal comes up and it's a good deal and you have a line of credit and someone needs to close quick? And maybe that deal would be the one that brings in 30, 50, 100 grand in one transaction, and you could stroke a check because you have a line of credit set up. You're not beholden on a lender who has to run you through underwriting, make sure your credit score, all of those things are done, because once you set up your line of credit, those funds are available. Number 3, when we're talking about filling your money bucket that everyone needs to look at, because we do it all the time here, is finding real people's money, other people's money. It might be a neighbor, it might be a friend, it might be a relative, it might be only 10 grand to help you for your earnest money or your payments on a flip, or it may be the money that helps you put the money down for a rental. You need, as a real estate investor, to go out and find other people's money, real people's money, because they're out there looking also for better returns than the bank. As long as you treat them good, as long as you can help them, get what they want, they're going to help you get what you want. If you need help with that, once again, that's what we do. We have and have always put other people's money into the notes and stuff like that. So if you need help, if you want to know how to do that, reach out to us. It's important in 2023 to get ready, not only for the flips you're doing now, but for what's coming in the future. Make sure you have lenders set up from hard money to bank and everyone in between. Make sure your credit's there so you have the options, and make sure you fill your money bucket up with getting the business credit cards, the lines of credit, and finding other people out there who are looking for a better return. Do all these things now. Set yourself up so you could do some transactions yet in 2023, but 2024, when foreclosures and all these other things come up, you're going to be prepared. We have many free downloads that can help you with all of these subjects. Check out the Cash Flow Company. We have free downloads on credit checks, on real people's money, trying to help you find real people's money, and lending options and stuff like that. Check out these free resources. It'll put you in a better investing position. Thanks everyone. We'll see you on the next video.